Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a fun-looking puzzle here, and it is fun. Well, one of the reasons why it's probably going to be fun is because it's a bit unusual. If you look at the actual grid here, you'll notice it's an 8 by 8, which is fairly odd, I guess we could say. Normal Sudoku obviously is 9 by 9s, and there's a lot of 6 by 6s out there, and I think some 4 by 4s, mini type puzzles, but 8 by 8s are not things we find very often. So, that said, let's take a look at what's going on here, and hopefully this will be a wonderful puzzle. Now, this is called Half the Truth by Sujoyku, and we've done multiple puzzles by Sujoyku before, so I'm sure it will be very good. That said, let's jump into these rules, see what's going on. So, again, normal 8 by 8 Sudokus apply. I think that's kind of a little funny, say normal 8 by 8 Sudoku rules, because 8 by 8 is really not normal, but anywho, the point is, every row, every column, and every 2 by 4 box contains the digits 1 to 8 once each. I almost said 1 to 9. Then we got killer cages, so digits in a cage sum to the clue in the top left. We've got a couple of cages here, well, 4 of them, 1 in each corner, and we can look at them and say these 4 digits add up to 24, because that's the clue that's given. Then we have little killers, so digits on a marked diagonal, sum to the clue outside the grid. If there is no conflict with other rules, digits on such a diagonal may repeat. So that's kind of your standard little killer rule. We've got, let's look at the 16 here. So all 4 of these digits, when they're added up, will add up to 16. And you can repeat. Then we've got arrows, so digits on an arrow sum to the digit in the circle from which the arrow emerges. So we look back at this same area. This circle is the value of all 3 of these digits added together. And that's the rule set. So, like I said, nothing really out there other than the fact that it's an 8 by 8. So, with that said, the link will be in the description below. Let's get started on this thing. So, where is a good place to start? Well, this little killer clue in conjunction with this killer cage, it's a lot of killers, is giving us a little bit of information, because we've got these 2 have to equal 9 by the little killer, but the entire cage has to equal 12. So if these are 9, these must add up to 3, so therefore it's a 1-2 pair. A similar situation looks like it's up here. These 2 must add up to 11. The remaining 2 must add up to 4, so therefore it's a 1-3. Now in the 24-15 combo, we don't quite have the luxuries we get down here, because we have 9 left over. The same can be said for this 22 kg. It is 9 as well, so these are 13. These must equal 9. So there's not quite as useful information as we got on these other ones. So, where are we? Well, okay, so we'll start with something that we're not really going to be able to use at the moment, but I'm just going to put it out there. These 2 arrow clues, these digits are the same digit, because this has to add to whatever this is, and since it's a single digit, it is what it is. These are going to be the same digit as well. We'll have to remember that for later. I don't think we can do anything about it right now. But the other things to look at is that we have very interesting reconciliation, I guess, between or working together in some fashion of these little killer clues and the arrows. So what do we know? Well, I guess we can think about it in a mathematical sense. That would make the most sense. If we were to look at this arrow by itself, we know that these cells add up to whatever this is. So this entire row, or diagonal, not row, would be 2x. We've got 10 little killer clue that looks at that entire diagonal. So if this is a 2x and this is 10, well, x has to be 5. So therefore, this has to be a 5, and these have to add up to 5. There's no other way to make this arrow and the way the properties of the arrow work to not be in that formulation. The same is going to be true for all these other ones. So this 12 clue means this is a 6. This 14 clue means this is a 7. 16 clue means this is an 8. Now, that 8 didn't quite do anything. As I say, it might have reduced our options for our 9, but we already knew the 8 one didn't work here. So let's look at our 5, because we have a number of cells that must be added together to equal 5. So we're never going to be able to get up to a 4. So 3 is the highest we're ever going to be able to get, because we know these two digits have to be different digits because they're in the same region. So they could be a 1, 2. Well, they can't be a 2, 3, but they could be a 1, 2 or a 1, 3. And that will leave 1 or 2 left, because this one actually can't be a 3. It's just a 1 or a 2. And we can mark this. There has to be a 1 in one of these. I don't know if that's going to come in too handy at the moment, but there it is. We can do something similar with the 6, but there is one more level of separation, I guess. Because again, we could have these be 1, 2, 3, and up to 4, because this could be 1 and 4. We can't ever put a 5 in here, obviously, because you'd have to have 2 other digits that add to 6, and we can't do that. So we could be 1, 4, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, or 2, 3. And the littlest number is going to be, that we can put here, I should say, is going to be 1, obviously, because if we have a 1, 4, we need a 1. The highest we could ever put up here is a 3, because if we were to put a 4 here, we'd have 1, 2 as a bare minimum here. That gets up to 7. So these have to be from 1, 2, and 3, and we already have, excuse me, we already have a 1 and a 3 here, so this has to be 2. And if that's already 2, now we can remove our 4, because we can't ever put a 4 and a 1 together, because that's 5, and then we have 2 more. So essentially we need to equal 4, because we've already gotten down to 4, so these can't have a 2 on them either. It's a 1, 3 pair. Oh, so we actually get a 1, 3 X-wing looking down this way, and if that's the case, this has to be 2. Now, if that is 2, we've just removed that 1 level of separation we had. So these have to equal 3, because 5 minus 2 is 3. So this is a 1, 2 pair. We've got a 2 looking at it as well, so we can put those in. And then we can push those over into that region. Now, can we keep going down this line? Because we're going to look at our 7 clue and say what? We can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the highest we could ever go, because we could have a 1, 5. This, though, could be as high as 4, because this could be a 1, 2 pair. No, this can't be 2, this can't be 2, so we can remove those little options. The problem is I don't think that's giving us too much work at the moment. There's too many layers of separation with not enough information looking back at it. And the 8's going to be even worse, I guess. Well, maybe, because this has to at least be a 3. Let's look at this one. 3, 4, it could be up to a 5. Because this could be a 5 and this could be a 1, 2 pair. These have to be from 1, 2, 3. And can we go up to 4? Yes, we can, because this could be a 1, 4, and this would be a 3. No, these can't be 2s, this can't be a 1. Yeah, that didn't really get us too far along. At least not yet. So what else do we have? So essentially we've used our little killer clues. Have we gotten this guy down into anything now? Because again, we have 4 already given. Excuse me. We have to get to 11 then. How do we get to 11? And we don't have a 9. Remember, this is an 8 by 8. So we can't do 8, 3. We could do 7, 4. And the only other option would be 6, 5. We can't do that. So this just is 7, 4. Yeah, that's accurate. Okay. Now, if that's the case, we know that these digits are, what, 5 and 8. We don't have anything necessarily looking at that yet, because we know this is 5 and 8 as well, because we said previously these have to be the same digit. Oh, 2s, looking into this region here. These are odd regions. The 2 by 4, it's really weird to look at. But we know none of these can be 2, so this is 2. Can we go any further with our 2s? Don't think so. What about the 1s? If we got something out of a 2, maybe we get something out of a 1. We know none of these are 1s, and we had, remember that 1, 3 X-Wing. So one of these is a 1. No, it doesn't seem to have taken us too far. So where else can we look? Is this 22 cage useful in any way? Because we can't use the 1 or the 2. So the bare minimum is 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's 18. So that doesn't help us very much. Because we still have a leftover of 6 there. Or 4 there, sorry. I can do math. Well, I guess we, again, looking at the 1, 3, we have to put a 3 in one of these two. We can't put a 3 in here. So now we're up to the 4, 5, 6, 7, which is 22. 7 and 6 is 13, 5 and 4 is 9, 22. Okay, so this is that bare minimum now, which means this is a 3, 8 pair, and we have an 8. Okay, 3, 8. That then forces this to be 5s, and this has to be an 8. Let's get rid of that 5. Can we go anywhere else with these newfound 8s? We can. So none of those can be an 8. So this has to be an 8, because none of these can be. Is there anything else? We know there's an 8 in the 24. It has to be one of these two. I really have to tell myself not to say 9s. What further do we have with 8s? I mean, one of these is not incredible. Okay, maybe the 8s are not the place to be at the moment. Oh, well, 5 can't be here, so it has to be in one of these. And we've got a 4, 6, 7 triple that doesn't say, well, it says that 6 has to be down here, so this can't be a 6. And we have a 4, 5, 7 triple. We have a 1, 3 pair with the 2 and the 8, so this has to be a 6. Okay. Oh, and this has to be a 6 because of that one. Good. What are these two digits then? They have to be from 4 and 7. We have a 7 here. Okay, 4, 7. These have to be 1 and 3. These have to be 4 and 7. What is that doing for us? Well, maybe we could have gone further with some of our other digits. 6s don't look like they're giving us a whole lot at the moment. Either do the 5s. I'm wondering if we need to use this 24 cage. We said the 8s are not super useful at this point. So I'm going to do a quick look back on our low digits just in case. Okay, let's look at this 24, I guess. Is there anything we can't put in it? Oh, I was just about to say we can get to 24 in 3 digits with 987. We can't use a 9. Get that into your head. So the highest we can ever get in 3 digits is 876. Which is going to give us, what, 21? So we'd have 3 left over. So we can't put a 1 or a 2 in the 24 cage, which means one of these is a 2. And any of these could be a 1. No, we can't quite pare that 2 down. We can, actually, now that I look at it. If we look at this region here, none of those can be 2. That can't be 2, and that can't be 2. So one of these is. Which means I've got an X-wing in 2s looking down. Well, we don't have to go down here because we already know the 2. And we know there's a 2 in none of those, and this one here sees this one, so this is our 2. Now, if that's a 2, that doesn't actually do anything, which is interesting. At least not to what we've got set up here. Well, it does do something, right? This can't be a 4. Because if it was a 4, we'd be at 6 already, and we can't put a 2 here. So we're either looking... Well, this we can reduce to 1 more digit, right? Because this is either 3, and this has to be 5, or this is 5, and this has to be 3, so this can't be 4. And we actually get a 1-3 pair here. Don't know that that's giving us a lot of information yet, but it is there. Okay. What further can we do with that 24, if anything? Or do we need to look in the 12? Because we can't put a 7 in this, so it has to be one of these 2. So we put a 7 in here, we're already at... We'd have to put a 2, I mean what I'm trying to say, to make the 9. So this is either a 3-6 or a 5-4. This can't be 3, so this can't be 6. Hoping that would have given us something here, but I don't know that it does. It would be nice to be able to prove this is a 7, because that would set everything else off. But I don't think we can. At least not that I can see at the moment. Okay. Let's look back again at our 24. There must be something else we can determine about it. We know it has an 8 in it. So we've got 3 digits left that have to equal 16. We have to put a 7 in it then. Because if we didn't put a 7 in, what would be remaining would be 6, 4, 5, which is 15. But we need 16, so this has to have a 7 in it. So one of these is a 7. Almost exactly what I want. So what do we have? Let's look at it one more time. What do we have? We've got 15 in it. We need 9 more in 2 digits. We can't do 8-1. We can't do 7-2. So again, it's either going to be 3-6 or 5-4. I don't like all those options though. Is there some... Let's look at this 13 cage, or 13 little killer. These can never be 4s. The only way to make 13 from these 2 digits is 7 and 6. So this is 7. This is 6. This has to be 4. This has to be 5. This might just break everything open. This is a 3. This is not 3 or 5, so it's 4. This is 7, so it puts 7s in both of these. Good. This is, what does this have to be? We've got 1, 2, and 4, which is 7, so therefore this has to be 5. This has to be our 6. Now that has to have done things elsewhere. Yes, the 4 and the 7. So this is 7, this is 4. That's no longer 4. This is no longer 3. This is no longer 7, so the 7 goes here. And what else? So if this is a 7, it has to add with the little killer to get us to 15, so this has to be 8. That's going to put 8 here. We can get rid of these pencil marks, and I think we can put an 8 down here somewhere, can't we? Yeah, this is the 8. And that 7 here is also going to give us a 4 and a 7. So can we finish these digits? 8s and 7s are done. Let's look at 6s. Doesn't... or no, it does. So we end up getting an X-wing on 6s, because we can't have any of these be 6s, so one of these is. Look in this region. None of these can be 6, so one of these is. So we got the X-wing going, which means none of these can be 6s, so therefore this is. And now we said these had to equal to 9, so therefore this is 3. And that gets us a doot up in that corner over there. If I point actually there. Again, I'll get that right some point in my life, but it might be a while. That 3 then comes here and sorts the 1 and the 3, and the 1 and the 3. And what else does it do? This can't be a 1, so we're going to be able to figure out this 7. I think this can't be a 1. So what is this 7 going to be? Yeah, so this can never be a 4, so this has to be 1. This can't ever be 5, so it has to be 2. Now we know this is 3, so this is 4. And what's remaining here? This is just a 5. This is a 4. And what else? What's left? What are these two? 6 and 3. There's a 3 here. 6, 3. That finishes the 6. Get rid of that one. The 2 here finishes our 2s there. That's gone. We've got a 1, 3 pair going across here, so all that's left is 5. We also could look this way. We need 1 and 3 in these, and we've got a 3 over here. So this is 1, this is 3. This has to be 5. That 3 gives us 1 and 3. Okay, this is going quite quickly, actually. This one now is 1, and you are 4. Hey, we got it right. Cool. We solved the puzzle. Solution is correct. Well, that was a good one. It took a second to get started. I mean, we got decently started, but I mean, starting to get into where we're breaking through under this thing. But again, it's an 8x8, so it's kind of a novelty, I guess, in the concept of normal Sudoku. So, had a ton of fun with that one. It was, like I said, fairly quick, about a 20-minute solve or so. So that's pretty good. Anyway, hope you guys all enjoyed this one. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. We're getting close to 1,000 subs, so you guys can help me get there. I appreciate everything you do. So that said, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.